Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is a review of set 30723, Cole's Car from the January 2026 Ninjago Legacy Wave. This is a polybag set that contains 39 pieces, 1 minifigure, and retails for $4.99 in the US. Now, as this is a polybag set, it's not distributed like normal sets. You're not going to be able to find this at any store that you go to. At least personally for me, I was able to get it off of Target's website in the US, but depending on what country you live in and what stores you have around you, you might be able to find it in person, and it might show up at the LEGO store as like a gift with purchase eventually. But really, the only consistent way I know of getting these things is going to Legoland. But yeah, at the very least, if you're in the US, you should be able to order this off Target's website if it's not out of stock. So without further ado, let's get it open. So here's Cole's Car fully put together, and this set is a legacy set because it is actually a remake of an older set, specifically a remake of this set from 2012. This set was just called Car, and I will be doing a full review of this set probably tomorrow. But yeah, it's this very silly little polybag that never appeared in the show. So I think it's so cool that after all this time, they went back and remade something so niche. And I think it was done absolutely perfectly. It captures the spirit of the original, but also makes it more interesting and more fun in a modern context. Because while I love that old set, it's very small and very silly. This, though, is taking that same general design and making it almost a little bit cooler, while still obviously being that same $5 price point because it's a polybag. Of course, Cole's Car here is a car, so you can roll it around. The rubber tires are a very nice inclusion, which may not sound like much, but again, that original set did not have those. But they just allow this to roll against the ground a lot nicer. We've got a little bit of gold detailing at the front right here to keep that Ninjago feel, as well as these gold blades on the side. And I really like what they did with these, because in the original, they're sort of like a weapon. They come out to the sides. And you could still do that with this version, like splay them out. But alternatively, you could have them like I just had them. And now they're less weapons and more like doors for Cole to get in and out of the vehicle. It makes it seem like he's more secure and in place in the driver's seat of the car. Speaking of the driver's seat, there's a ton of room for the minifigure here, which is very nice to see. He's got his full armor piece on and a sword on his back, and he still fits. So I appreciate that all that room was given. And on the back here, we have these slip grill pieces, which were also on the original, though this time there's a little black spoiler behind them to give the build a bit more depth. And I like that these are still silver and they weren't like swapped out for gold. Those plus the wheels sort of call back to Cole's original color scheme from 2012, instead of switching everything to gold like the minifigure does. Cole, of course, attaches to the vehicle by holding onto these handlebars right here, and I think that's most of what I have to show you for the build. I mean, it's a polybag build. It is fairly simple overall, but for a $5 polybag, I feel like there was a ton of value crammed in here. But of course, the build is not everything in this set, so now let's take a look at the minifigure that it comes with. Here's the one and only minifigure included in this polybag, the Legacy Cole's EX minifigure. And of course, this is not the only set this guy comes in. He's also in the Ninja Anniversary display for $45 and the Old Town for $300. But if you're a big fan of Cole, this is by far the cheapest way to get this guy. And something that I really appreciate is this is actually the complete version of this minifigure. He's got his full ZX hood, which isn't even included in the Old Town, as well as his full armor piece, which if you have a lot of Ninjago sets, you probably have plenty of this armor piece. But for newer collectors especially, I really appreciate that it was included here, because a lot of times with smaller polybag builds like this, they'll leave details like that off, and just give you the rest of the ninja without the armor. Same thing with the sword, because it might seem like a small detail, but again, polybag budgets are so limited, and when it's something like this, a vehicle, and you're not fighting a villain, a sword isn't actually necessary to be included, so the fact that they could fit it in makes this a much better all-in-one package. Talking about the minifigure itself though, I love the Legacy ZX Ninja in general. Cole does switch to using gold instead of silver, and I definitely would have preferred the silver, but at the very least I do think the gold looks good on Cole, and funnily enough, I think he actually fits the vehicle really well, because that has gold on it as well. Aside from that color change though, it's very faithful to the original 2012 minifigures. I love the sort of scaled armor that he has on, though now it has gold reflections in it. Those brown ropes are really vibrant too. And even small details like the ninja having shoe printing now is really cool. The new Legacy ZX hood is really awesome with the wrap that comes all the way around the back. And if we take the armor off, you can see Cole actually has his original symbol on his back, which is amazing to see, as well as just like his standard movie face print. This minifigure includes pretty much everything I could want in this set. So, overall, would I recommend this set? I mean, yes, absolutely. Just from a Ninjago history perspective, I think it's so cool they remade such a niche polybag from all the way back in 2012. But even ignoring the legacy side of things, I think this is a really good polybag. For kids especially, this is a really fun build for only $5. It's a car that looks good, it can fit a character, and it can roll around. That's everything it needs to do. And then you get a complete version of the new Legacy Cole's EX minifigure. Which, yes, the anniversary display most people are probably getting. It's not going to be like that hard to get this guy. But at least me personally, I love to have duplicates of all my minifigures, so having another way to get this one is awesome. This is maybe not as good of a value as those polybags that come with 2 minifigures, but those ones are so good that I consider them more of the exception than the norm. So yeah, 100%, if you guys can find this polybag for retail price, whether that's at Legoland, at Target, or somewhere else, pick it up, it's a lot of fun. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you want to see more of my January 2026 Ninjago reviews, I have reviews of every single set up on the channel right now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!